the bell tower, and the midnight fox. Please take a moment now to settle into your most comfortable position. Allow your body to soften. Let your breath grow slow and even. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the quiet calm that begins to spread. Relax your shoulders. Release any tension in your neck. Feel your hands resting gently by your sides or in your lap, completely at ease. Let your mind gently open to a calm space where soft sounds and quiet moments await you. Our story today begins high above the world, where the stars whisper softly to the night. Our story sets sail at the top of a great stone castle. The walls are tall and strong, built long ago by careful hands, stone upon stone. At the very peak, reaching toward the sky, stands the bell tower, tall and proud. Inside the tower, an ancient wooden bell hangs quietly. Its surface is worn smooth from many years of gentle tolling, marking each hour of the day and night. Tonight, the tower is wrapped in soft moonlight, and the air is cool and still. The only sounds are the soft rustle of leaves far below and the occasional flutter of a night bird. If these quiet tales are helping you drift off, a gentle like or a silent subscribe would mean the world. It helps this sleepy corner of the internet reach others who need a little calm too. I always wonder, where in the world are you listening from right now? If you're still awake, leave a whisper of a comment, maybe your city and the time on your clock. It's a beautiful thing, this quiet little global gathering, all connected through stories and stillness. Now, let's set the mood. Dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and get comfortable. Welcome back, gentle dream. Let's breathe in and out and begin again. At the top of the narrow stone staircase, the watchman moves slowly. His footsteps are soft against the cold, worn steps, each one measured and careful. He wears a cloak that sways gently with his movements, brushing softly against the ancient walls. His breath comes steady and calm, matching the rhythm of the night. In his hand, he carries a small wooden mallet, the tool he uses to toll the great bell. As he reaches the bell's resting place, he pauses. The night is deep and peaceful, wrapped in shadows and moonbeams. He listens to the stillness, feeling the steady beat of time flowing quietly around him. As the watchman prepares to toll the bell, a soft sound reaches his ears. A delicate, barely there rustling like a whisper of silk on stone. From the shadowed corner of the tower, a small fox emerges. Its fur is a soft, warm orange, glowing faintly in the moonlight. The fox's eyes shine bright, curious but calm. It moves with quiet grace, paws patting gently on the cold stone floor. Slowly, it curls beside the watchman, seeking warmth and company. Together, they share the stillness of the night, the gentle ticking of time measured in slow, steady chimes. The watchman lifts his mallet gently, his hand steady and sure. With a soft swing, the mallet strikes the great bell. The sound is deep and warm, a slow, rolling chime that spreads through the night air. Each toll marks an hour passing, a heartbeat in the night's calm rhythm. The echo ripples softly, touching the leaves, the stones, the distant hills. The fox listens closely, its tail curled softly around its paws. Between each chime, there is silence, a space for the mind to rest, the breath to slow. With each bell, the world seems to settle deeper into peaceful stillness. As the bell's echo fades into the night, the watchman settles onto a wooden bench nearby. His voice, when he speaks, is soft and steady, like the gentle breeze that rustles through the trees. He tells the story of the night watches long ago in medieval times, how the castle's protectors would keep watch through the dark hours, tolling the bell to mark the passage of time, how they guarded the village below, listening to the night's whispers and keeping fear at bay. He tells how important timekeeping was, how each bell's chime connected the villagers, reminding them of the rhythm of life. The fox listens, its eyes half closed, comforted by the soothing cadence of the watchman's words. Outside the bell tower's narrow windows, soft moonlight spills over the castle walls. It casts long, gentle shadows that sway like slow dancers in the cool night air. The watchman and the fox watch as the light plays, their breaths calm and slow. The distant rustle of leaves whispers secrets of the forest to the stars above. In this quiet dance of shadows and light, the world feels suspended, a moment held softly between heartbeats. You can almost hear the gentle sway of the trees, the hush of the night wrapped in silver light. Breathe in the stillness, feel the coolness, touch your skin like a gentle kiss. Let the soft rhythm of the night carry you further into calm. The fox stretches slowly, its soft paws pressing lightly against the cold stone floor. Each step it takes is quiet as a whispered secret, barely stirring the air. Its fur ripples gently with every movement, catching the pale moonlight like a warm flame. The fox's eyes sparkle with a calm curiosity, watching the world through the hush of night. You can almost feel the softness of its coat, the delicate touch of its paws as they pad lightly beside the watchman. Together, they are silent companions, sharing the stillness in perfect harmony. Imagine the cool stone beneath your fingertips, the faint warmth of the fox's body resting nearby. Feel the peace that comes from quiet presence and gentle trust. The watchman lifts the mallet once more, preparing for another gentle toll. This time, the bell's sound is softer, like a whisper carried across a still lake. It rolls slowly through the night, echoing gently off the castle walls and fading into the distant hills. Each note feels like a tender heartbeat, steady and slow, inviting you to breathe deeply along with it. Between the chimes, the silence grows thick with calm, wrapping you like a soft blanket. The fox's ears twitch softly in time with the bell, its breathing slow and even. Imagine the sound lingering in the cool air, warm, comforting, and full of quiet strength. Let your own breath fall into rhythm with this whispered echo. Beside the bell, the watchman lights a small lantern. Its flame flickers gently, casting a warm, golden glow against the cool stone walls. The light dances softly, creating gentle shadows that sway like a slow lullaby. The fox's fur catches the glow, glowing softly as if woven from the lantern's warmth. The watchman holds the lantern close, feeling its comforting heat seep into his chilled fingers. The glow feels like a quiet promiser beacon in the stillness of the night. Imagine the tender flicker of the flame, its soft warmth reaching toward you, inviting you to relax deeper. Let the gentle light and the watchman's calm presence soothe your mind. Certainly, dear dreamer, let's gently continue our quiet journey together. From high in the bell tower, the watchman gazes down upon the castle below. The windows glow faintly with candlelight, soft flickers like tiny stars scattered across the stone walls. The castle itself feels alive, a sleeping giant wrapped in blankets of shadow and moonlight. The gardens lie silent, their flowers closed tight for the night. The quiet breath of the castle seems to echo the gentle rhythm of the watchman's slow tolling bell. Feel yourself becoming part of this peaceful place, the stone, the light, the shadows. Let your breath grow slow and steady, matching the calm pulse of the castle's sleeping heart. As the hours pass, the watchman hums a quiet tune, low and steady. His song is like a soft breeze weaving through the stones, carrying gentle notes into the stillness. The melody is old woven from stories passed down through countless nights. It speaks of stars, of quiet forests, of the slow dance between time and night. The fox listens, eyes half closed, comforted by the warmth of the song. Let yourself be carried by the watchman's melody, a gentle current flowing through the quiet. Feel your body soften, your mind drift, as the song wraps around you like a tender hug. A gentle breeze slips quietly through the bell tower's open windows. It carries the scent of pine and blooming night flowers, sweet and soothing. The breeze brushes softly against your skin, like a tender kiss from the night itself. It stirs the watchman's cloak and the fox's fur, a slow dance of movement and stillness. Feel the cool air flow around you, carrying away any tension or worry. Breathe deeply, and with every breath, let the breeze bring you more calm and peace. The world outside fades gently into a quiet hush, and here, in this bell tower, time itself seems to slow. Outside the tower's windows, tiny fireflies begin their gentle dance. Their soft, golden lights flicker and flutter like floating stars come to visit. They drift slowly through the cool night air, weaving patterns of quiet light against the dark. The watchman and the fox watch with calm wonder, their breaths slow and even. Imagine the gentle glow of the fireflies surrounding you, their tiny lights pulsing softly in the night. Feel your body relax deeper with each twinkle, your mind drifting like the fireflies on the breeze. Let this dance of light guide you gently toward your sweetest dreams. The bell tolls again, slow and gentle, a soft whisper in the night. Each chime is like a secret shared between the stars and the earth. The sound ripples through the still air, touching every corner of the sleeping world. The watchman's steady hand and the fox's quiet presence make the night feel safe and whole. Let the bell's gentle whisper seep into your heart, carrying away any lingering thoughts or cares. Breathe in the calm and exhale into peaceful rest. The night is yours now, wrapped in warmth and quiet light. As the night grows older, the watchman slowly lowers his mallet. He sits back against the cool stone wall, letting out a quiet, contented sigh. The fox curls tighter beside him, warm and soft, its breathing slow and steady. Together, they share a moment of stillness, no words, just calm and comfort. Imagine the quietness wrapping around you like a thick, soft blanket. Feel your own body growing heavier, more relaxed, sinking deeper into your restful place. The world outside may bustle and hum, but here, in this moment, all is peaceful and still. Far beyond the tower, the first faint light of dawn begins to brush the horizon. A soft, pale glow, gentle as a whisper, stretches slowly across the sky. The watchman rises quietly, feeling the cool promise of morning on his skin. The fox stirs, stretching its lithe body with graceful ease. Together, they look out over the castle and the sleeping lands beyond. Imagine the world bathed in that soft, light, peaceful calm, and ready to greet a new day. Feel the last traces of night's cool embrace mingle with the warmth of the coming dawn. Allow your body and mind to float softly between rest and waking. With the dawn's light growing brighter, the watchman gives one final, soft toll. The bell's sound carries gently across the waking lands, a quiet farewell to the night. The fox rises beside him, eyes calm and full of quiet wisdom. Together they watch as the world stirs leaves, unfurling, birds beginning their morning song. The castle breathes softly, wrapped in the gentle hues of morning. Feel your own breath become lighter, ready to greet the day with calm and grace. Know that this peaceful night, this soft story, stays with you always. As the watchman and the fox disappear from the bell tower's quiet heights, the night folds gently into memory. Feel the calm, the peace, the steady rhythm of time wrapped around you like a warm quilt. Know that whenever you need, you can return to this place of quiet, where soft bells chime, foxes curl, and gentle watches soothe your soul. Take one last deep breath, now slow and full. Exhale any lingering worries, letting them drift away like autumn leaves on a quiet breeze. Rest now, dear one. Sleep well, dream deep, and wake renewed. Hello, dear traveler, you've arrived at the quiet hour, that gentle space between wakefulness and dreams, where thoughts slow down, where the world begins to soften, where you are safe still and softly supported by everything around you. Take a moment to settle in. Feel the weight of the day melt away from your shoulders. Let your arms grow heavy, your jaw grow soft. Let your eyes close if they haven't already. Or simply let them rest a little more with each passing breath. In and out, you're safe here, you're held. And all you need to do is listen and drift. Because our story tonight is a quiet one, a tale that travels gently across time. A lullaby of lute strings and stone courtyards, a story for children and for grown dreamers too. Our story tonight begins beneath a pale harvest sky. The last leaves of autumn had just begun to fall. Slowly, like tiny sails drifting through air tinged with chimney smoke and the promise of frost. And in the village of Cairnwell, nestled in the hills where moss crept up old stone walls and shutters always creaked just a little in the wind, a minstrel had returned for one final song. He came each year as the leaves turned, his cloak a tapestry of faded reds and traveling dust. His boots were worn soft from roads that stretched longer than anyone dared to measure. But it was his luta, that rosewood lute, that marked his arrival more than anything else. Its strings were silver spun, and when plucked just so, they hummed with the warmth of a hearth fire, or the hush of snow just beginning to fall. The villagers would stop just for a moment when they heard it. Farmhands with earth beneath their nails, children with cheeks red from chasing each other through leaf piles, old women in wool shawls, clutching clay mugs of cider, all would pause, listening, because they knew this was his last song before winter. Each year he played only once. He never asked for coin, only shelter, and a bowl of something warm. The inn at the heart of Cairnwell, the Ox and Lantern, welcomed him without question, as if he belonged to the beams and bricks themselves. Its hearth always seemed to crackle brighter on the night he played, and so it was on this evening, with twilight softening the sky to velvet purples and fading gold, that he stepped into the courtyard once more. The inn stones were old, cool to the touch, and ivy clung to their corners like forgotten lace. Wind brushed past, not cold exactly, but cool enough to make the lantern flames dance just a little. He stood beneath the great archway, and without a word, lifted the lute into his hands. The courtyard stilled. Even the breeze seemed to hold its breath. He played, and oh, how the sound bloomed. Not loudly, no, but deeply, like the memory of something long forgotten, something whispered long ago to the heart. His fingers moved like water over the strings. He played of home, and roads walked alone, of starlight above forest paths, and the rustle of a bed of ferns under a sleeping body. He played of hands held, then let go, of words spoken in firelight, and promises made when spring was still young. And as he played, he sang, not always in words, but in sounds that curled like smoke, and settled around the ears like a warm scarf. Villagers watched from doorways, mugs wrapped in mittened hands. Children rested their heads in their parents' laps. Even the innkeeper's dog lay down near the fire and closed his eyes. The wind moved gently through the courtyard, as if trying not to interrupt. The lanterns glowed gold, casting light that flickered like candlelit memories. And the minstrel's eyes, they were closed, as if seeing a place beyond the courtyard, beyond the village, beyond time itself. Now a secret, dear listener. There was a reason this song was played only once a year. Not just because it was beautiful, not just because it was rare, but because during the war, long ago, when messages could not be sent safely, when letters were seized, and words were watched, songs were used instead. Melodies were coded, a shift in rhythm here, a minor chord there, and meaning would slip past listening ears. This minstrel had once been a messenger, his music, a map, his notes, a language only the careful could understand. But that was long ago. Now there were no more wars, no more secrets to carry, only stories, only this song. And still, when he played, there was a hush in the air, as though the wind itself remembered and bowed its head. He ended the song slowly, so gently that even the pause between notes felt like part of the music. The last note lingered, hung in the cool air, then dissolved like a snowflake on the skin. No one clapped, they never did. Instead, silence filled the space, a silence so soft it felt like a blanket being tucked around the soul. Then, quietly, the villagers began to leave, not talking, just smiling, eyes misty, hearts full. The minstrel stayed a while longer, seated on the edge of the old fountain, watching his breath curl into the night. He would sleep by the fire, eat stew from a wooden bowl, and at first light he'd be gone. No one knew where he came from or where he went, but they always said he left a little warmth behind, like the scent of smoke in your clothes after a fire, like a song you can't quite remember, but still hum in your dreams. And now, dear listener, let the music of the minstrel drift deeper into your mind. Imagine the soft glow of the lanterns, their light flickering against the stone. Feel the cool air of twilight kiss your cheeks, wrap around your shoulders like a silk shawl. Imagine resting beneath the same sky, beneath the stars that watched the song begin and will still be watching when you sleep. There's nothing left to do now, nothing at all. Only to breathe softly, slowly, and allow yourself to drift. You are safe, you are warm, and the last note of the minstrel's song is still echoing in your dreams. The laughter from the inn had grown low and slow, a few quiet murmurs near the hearth, the creak of an old stool shifting under a dreaming guest. Inside, the fire whispered to itself, tiny pops and sighs. He sipped slowly, eyes watching the flames, seeing stories inside their dance. The innkeeper, an old friend, now said nothing. She knew better. She simply placed a blanket across his shoulders and let the silence settle around them both like snow falling in a forest. In the morning, he would be gone again, just like every year. But this night, this fire, this quiet, it was his and yours, dear listener. So let's stay with him a little longer. Let's watch the flames. Let's listen to the embers. The firelight shimmered across the stone walls, walls darkened by 100 winters, etched faintly with names long lost to time. They remembered the inn's earliest days, when weary nights traded coins for mead, when traveling merchants offered spices wrapped in waxed cloth, and pilgrims left tokens at the hearth to bless the road ahead. And long ago, so long ago, they remembered a war no one liked to speak of, when messages traveled by song. The minstrel had once carried secrets, each chord, each rhythm, a cipher to someone who knew how to listen. To the enemy, it was just music. To the resistance, it was hope. One song saved a village, another betrayed a crown, and one, just one, told a lover waiting far away that he was alive. But now he played only for peace, and for the children who would never know the feel of war beneath their feet. The minstrel leaned back now, his mug empty, his body softened by warmth and memory. Above him, the rafters groaned gently, as if settling in for sleep. The fire dimmed to glowing embers, deep orange and quiet red. They didn't flicker anymore. They pulsed slowly. Not to sleep, not yet, but to remember. He remembered the first time he held the lute, a gift from someone gone. He remembered the first time he sang to a crowd, his voice trembling, his hands sweating, his song lifting anyway. He remembered the faces that passed in and out of his journey, some just flickers, some like stars that stayed. And now, dear one, you might be imagining that room, that hearth, that inn with the name carved above the door, the ox and lantern. Let yourself step inside. Let your bare feet feel the worn wooden floor, soft from centuries of footsteps. Let your fingers graze the stone walls, cool and strong. Come closer to the fire. Feel the heat brush your skin, not too hot, just warm enough to melt the chill from your bones. There's a chair here for you, old but kind. A cushion faded from years of sun and story. Sit down, wrap the wool blanket across your legs, rest your hands in your lap, breathe in the scent of cinnamon, smoke, and beeswax. You are home, if only for this moment. You are safe, if only for this night. The minstrel stirred slightly, eyes still closed, fingers twitching softly in sleep, as if plucking invisible strings. Outside, the wind had changed. It carried with it the first breath of winter, not harsh yet, but crisp and clean, like the sound of frost crunching underfoot. The trees around Cairnwell shifted in their sleep, their limbs rustling like distant whispers, leafless now, ready for snow. And the stars above, oh, they shone so clearly, as if the sky had been polished by a gentle hand. Some said you could navigate by those stars, if you knew how to read them. The minstrel once had, but tonight he wasn't following the stars. He was dreaming, and in his dream he heard music, a new melody, one not meant to carry messages, or warnings, or secret plans. Just peace, just comfort, just sleep. And maybe now you hear it too, that melody, soft as mist on morning fields. No words, just notes, floating like fireflies through the air around you. Let them guide you. Let them hum through your bones. Let them sink into your chest, your shoulders, your arms. Let the song wrap around your breath. Let it rock you, gently, like a boat on a quiet river. You're drifting now, deeper and deeper. The minstrel's song is inside you, and every note says, "You are safe now. You can rest." The night was very still now, still but not silent. If you listened closely, just like you are now, you could hear the soft rustle of branches swaying beyond the inn's walls, and the faint hush of dry leaves being carried along the road by the slow, wandering breath of wind. Somewhere a shutter tapped gently against its frame, the kind of sound that says, "You're not alone." But you are deeply, peacefully undisturbed. Inside the inn, everything had quieted. The fire had settled into a low orange glow, like the heartbeat of a sleeping cat curled on the hearth rug. The room was warm, soft, thick with comfort and the scent of burning applewood. The minstrel slept in a chair not far from the flames, blanket wrapped around his shoulders, his lute resting across his lap, still but ready, like a friend who keeps watch over you as you dream. His breath was steady, slow, like yours, in and out, and with every breath the dreams drifted deeper. He dreamed he was walking again, through fields touched by frost, through forests that whispered and leaned, branches curling to watch him pass. The path was familiar, worn into the earth, marked by centuries of feet and wheels and hooves. It was a pilgrim's path, once used by those seeking shrines or silence. Now only birds and foxes walk it often. In his dream he carried no pack, only the lute, and a pouch of dried berries picked by the hands of an old woman in a cottage with a red door. She had once told him, "Eat these when you're alone in the wild. They'll remind you of kindness, even in dreams the taste lingered." He walked, and the sky above him changed, from twilight to silver night, and then to the pale hush before dawn, the kind of hour when even the birds hold their breath and only dreams speak. He passed a grove of ancient trees, oaks and ash, bent and knotted, their roots tangled like stories in a bard's song. Long ago, people believed these trees could speak, not with words, but with memory. If you placed your hand on their bark and closed your eyes and truly listened, you might hear a tale whispered into your bones. The minstrel had tried once, years ago, when he was still new to the road. He had heard something then, not quite a voice, but a feeling, a warmth in the chest, like being remembered by something very, very old. He smiled in his dream as he passed the grove, giving a slight bow out of respect. Even in sleep, even in imagination, some customs were never forgotten. Then the road curved, and he came upon a stone bridge arched over a narrow stream. The water below was slow, dark, and full of stars. In medieval times, people believed that bridges were not just crossings, but thresholds, places where this world met another. Some said you could see ghosts on bridges if you passed at the right time. Others believed that dreams lingered there, as if the minds of travelers had been carried downstream, layering memory upon memory into the water's reflection. The minstrel paused, watching his own dream form mirrored beneath him. He looked older, wiser, softer around the eyes, and the reflection smiled back. Beyond the bridge, a cottage appeared, one he had never seen before, yet knew by heart. Its windows glowed with a golden light, smoke curled from the chimney like a ribbon, and beside the door a single lantern hung, swaying gently in the breeze. He stepped forward, opened the gate, and with the same care used when lifting a song into the air, he opened the door. Inside, it smelled of rosemary and pine wood and parchment, warmed by firelight. There was a fire, Yes, of course. Always a fire. And a chair waiting for him, and no one else. But the room didn't feel empty. It felt expectant, as if it had been waiting only for him. And now, dear dreamer, perhaps you are there too. Perhaps the path he walks is the same one you've stepped onto in your own dreams. Do you feel the frost-dusted moss beneath your feet? Do you hear the stream murmuring beneath the bridge? Can you feel the stillness of that threshold, the way it invites you to cross, not in fear, but in peace? And when you reach the cottage, that glowing waiting place, do you feel, too, that it knows you, that it has held a place for you, even while you've wandered? Step inside. There's a blanket folded on the back of a chair. A small cup of something warm is waiting on the table. The kind of drink that doesn't need a name. You only need to sip it once and feel your whole self sigh. This room was made for resting, and here you can let go of everything. Back at the inn, the minstrel stirred in his sleep, smiling softly, as if he, too, had found the cottage. The wind whispered against the shutters. The last ember pulsed beneath the ash, and morning still lingered just beyond the hills, patient and kind. For now, the night remained, and you are resting in its arms. Let your breath slow again in and out. Let your body soften into the mattress, as if the earth itself were cradling you. Nothing more is needed. Nothing more is asked of you. The story continues, but it moves gently now, like the lute's final note slipping into silence. The inn was quiet now, so deeply quiet. You could hear the shift of settling embers, the soft collapse of wood turned to ash, whispering into the warm air like fading lullabies. Outside, the night had reached its stillest point. Not quite midnight, but the hush just before it. That old, sacred hour when the world feels suspended between breath and breath, between thought and dream. And there, in his chair by the fire, the minstrel remained still, a soft rise and fall of his chest, the gentle curve of a half-smile upon his lips. Even in sleep, he looked as though he were listening to something only he could hear. A final echo, a memory wrapped in song. Long ago, during the years when kingdoms clashed and borders blurred, songs were more than just music. They were tools, maps, messengers. Minstrels, like the one by the hearth, were often more than just entertainers. They carried secrets, because a song, dear one, could travel where a letter could not. A melody could carry a warning. A rhythm could name a place. A chord shift could mean life or death. They sang in great halls and in quiet taverns, in fields where soldiers sharpened swords, and by brooks where lovers met in secret. Each note, each lyric, carefully chosen, disguised, so only those who listened would understand. And now those wars had long ended, but the songs remained, as memories, as a comfort, as lullabies. In Cairnwell, people still passed the tales. The children didn't understand all the meanings, but they knew the feeling. Each year, when the minstrel returned, mothers would lift sleepy children into warm arms, carrying them to the window to watch the man with the silver-stringed lute. Even babies hushed when he played, not from fear, but from recognition. Some part of them, perhaps the oldest, softest part, remembered. And tonight, in the room of embers and old beams, you remember too, not in the mind, but in the body. A feeling in the chest, or the fingertips, or behind the eyes, where dreams begin. A sense of safety, of stories carried safely through the dark, of songs that held meaning, even when the world outside was uncertain. It's okay to feel that now. It's okay to soften. You've made it to the hearth. You've heard the song. Now you can rest. Imagine now that you are curled in your own chair, your own place by the fire. A woolen blanket tucked around your legs, a cushion behind your head. Everything you need. In the hearth, the last flame sighs into red, and outside snow has begun to fall. Just a few flakes, silent as feathers, drifting down through the dark, touching rooftops and hedges, settling into the creases of the village. You can almost hear it, the sound of snow touching earth, the sound of everything being covered in softness. Even the world, in this moment, has decided to sleep. Now listen closer. The lute, though resting, plays on in your mind. You can still hear its notes, not loud, just a present, like the aftertaste of something sweet, like the hum of a song sung long ago. Let that sound follow your breath. Let it rise and fall with your chest. Let it guide you deeper, deeper. You don't need to think anymore. You don't need to follow the story. It will follow you all the way into your dreams. In the warmth of sleep, the minstrel wandered again, but now the path had no stones, only clouds. He stepped barefoot, his lute slung gently across his back, his cloak trailing behind him like the tail of a comet. He was smiling, not because he had arrived, but because there was nowhere left to go, no more messages to carry, no more warnings to weave into tunes, no more farewells wrapped in lyrics, only peace, only this space, a place made entirely of song and stillness and light. Some said that minstrels, when they passed from this world, did not leave at all. They simply became part of the music. And maybe, dear one, you are beginning to hear that music now, in your breath, in your heartbeat, in the hush behind your thoughts. A song just for you, a song to sleep by. Now allow your entire body to settle. From the top of your head down to your brow, your cheeks, your jaw, let it all soften. Let your shoulders melt into the bed. Let your arms go heavy. Let your hands unclench. Feel the weight of sleep brushing your chest, your ribs, your belly. Allow it to warm your hips down, your legs, all the way to the soles of your feet. You are safe. You are still. You are surrounded by warmth and story and soft echoes of song. There is nowhere you need to be. You are already there. The village of Cairnwell slept, not just the people, but the cottages, the trees, even the hills seemed tucked under a quilt of quietness, stitched with snowflakes and sighs. The moon, soft and round above the chimneys, shimmered gently, not to light the way, but simply to watch, as though it too, I was listening to the echo of the minstrel's song. Inside the inn, the fire had gone to ash, still warm, still glowing gently, but quiet now, like breath after weeping, like the space between final notes. The minstrel still sat, eyes closed, chin tilted slightly forward in rest, the edge of a smile upon his lips, and the lute, still cradled gently across his lap, as if it, too, had fallen asleep after years of carrying sorrow and joy. But here is something most people didn't know. And perhaps you are ready to hear it now. Sometimes, a song doesn't need to be played aloud to be heard. Sometimes, it travels in silence, through the still air, through the hush of rooms like this one, through the space between stars and sleep. In the medieval world, before books could be held in every home, songs were how people remembered things. Not just stories, but prayers, instructions, medicine, myths. Songs were like spoken spells, sung slowly, repeated gently, like the rhythm of a rocking cradle. Some people believed that if a song was sung with love, it would stay in the walls of the place where it was played. Long after the singer had gone, it would become part of the stone, part of the floor, part of the wind that crept in under the door at night. And so it was with the minstrel's final song. It stayed, even after his body would one day be gone. Even after the lute would rest in a dusty corner, the song remained in the beams, in the walls, in the corners of the inn where candlelight lingers longer than it should. So, if you were to visit the Ox and Lantern many years later, long after the minstrel had taken his last road, you might notice something. You might step into the courtyard on a quiet, frost-laced evening and feel an ache in your chest you can't explain. You might sit by the hearth, alone, and hear a note, just one, whispering through the smoke. You might even hum a melody you didn't know you knew, softly, unconsciously, just before sleep takes you. That's the song that stayed. That's the lullaby left behind. And now, sweet listener, perhaps that song lives in you. Perhaps you carry it in your breath, in the rhythm of your heart, in the soft way you fall asleep when the world finally lets you go. Maybe you are the new minstrel, not the kind who travels with a lute, but the kind who dreams deeply, who remembers stories passed down in whispers, who feels warmth from things long forgotten. Let yourself feel that now. You are part of this story. You are part of the song. Let it wrap around you. Let it fill the quiet places in your mind. No effort, no force. Just gentle remembering, just receiving. Outside the inn, the snow fell heavier now, blanketing the rooftops in softness, curling into doorways, settling in the folds of cloaks left hanging by the door. The snow made no sound, only presence. It softened everything, the edges of barrels, the paths between cottages, the crooked wooden signs above the butcher's shop and baker's bench. Even the sound of the villages, one little bell, used only to call for help or gather news, was muffled now by snow. But there was no need for bells tonight, no need for urgency, only quiet, only the falling hush of sleep, repeated with every drifting flake. And you now let your body grow heavier, heavier in the arms, heavier in the legs, heavy like a blanket soaked in warm light. Let your breath slow even more. Let your jaw loosen. Let your eyes go soft beneath their lids. Everything is okay. Everything is at rest. You've heard the final song. You've sat by the last fire. You've crossed the last bridge in dreams. There is nothing left to do, only to float, only to rest. In the Middle Ages, inns like the Ox and Lantern were more than just places to eat and sleep. They were sanctuaries, places of story, of the community. Travelers were welcomed not just with food and fire, but with listening ears. They brought news from the next town. They told tales that children would pass down for years. They reminded everyone that the world was wide, and yet, somehow, always connected. So even if you weren't a noble or knight or priest, if you carried a song or a story, you had a place. And tonight, you do too, here, in this quiet, in this story, in this sleep. Now, dear one, it's time. You've traveled far tonight, through courtyards and cottages, through snow and song, through memory and moonlight. Let it all fade. Let the inn disappear behind you. The fire dim, the walls melt into stardust. There is only the softness now, only the warmth of your own breath, moving like the rhythm of the minstrel's final tune. In and out, in and out. Let your thoughts quiet completely. Let your dreams begin to sing. And as you drift, know this, the song remembers you. even when you forget, even as you sleep, especially then. There is a place, they say, where songs go when no one is singing them anymore. A soft meadow beyond time, beyond the reach of footsteps or maps. Not a graveyard, not an archive, just a space of warm light, still water, and notes that hum themselves gently into the air, like echoes with nowhere to land and no reason to. The minstrel dreamt of this place, not as a reward, not as an ending, but as a return. The song that had followed him since youth, the one in the oak trees, the fires, the bridges, and the wind. It had not come from him, it had simply passed through. And now, in sleep, he followed it back to where it had always belonged. You are there too. Can you feel it? Soft ground beneath your feet, cool, mossy, gentle, like velvet, warmed by the sun. Tall grass sways around you, barely brushing your legs. Each blade moves to its own rhythm, but somehow they all sway together, like a field of breathing notes. Above you, the sky is not quite blue, not quite silver, but something in between. Like the color of your deepest exhale, a breeze drifts by, carrying no scent, only the memory of music. And in the air, just beyond the edge of hearing, you sense it, a song that has always been, not loud, not insistent, just present, always. This is where the minstrel walks now, not as a figure with a name or even a body, but as part of something greater, something timeless, something soft, something you are part of, too. He does not carry his lute here. It has become the wind, the grass, the hush between thoughts. He smiles, and the sound of it becomes a melody. You listen, and the melody says, you are enough, you are home, you can rest. In the Middle Ages, music was often believed to hold power over the soul. It was more than entertainment, it was medicine, it was prayer, it was memory. In some villages, people would hum to crops, believing the vibration of sound would help the wheat grow strong. Mothers would sing to the bread rising by the hearth. Healers would chant low, wordless tunes over fevered brows. Even those who couldn't read or write knew the melodies passed down by grandmothers and woodsmen. Songs remembered the names of herbs, the direction of stars, the meaning of dreams. The body forgets, but the song remembers. And now you remember too. Back in Cairnwell, the inn sits in its soft coat of snow, still, silent, sacred. The embers are long cooled, but the warmth remains, not as heat, but as a presence. The minstrel's chair is empty now, but it does not feel lonely, only complete. Like a candle burned all the way down, leaving behind a room full of gentle light. Outside, the first light of morning presses shyly against the edges of the village. Not yet sunrise, just the whisper before it. But you, dear traveler, you are far beyond dawn. You are beyond time. You are dreaming still. Let go of the inn. Let go of the lute. Let go of the snow and the fire and the path through the woods. Let your mind be quiet now. Let your thoughts loosen. You've followed the song to the place where songs return. And here, you do not need to understand. You only need to feel. This is where words end and music begins. And where music ends, sleep begins. Now, there is no more story. Only sensation. Only soft breath. Cool pillow. Blanket tucked beneath your chin. Only the quiet between thoughts. The silence behind the song. Only you, here, drifting, floating, held safe, loved. Let's begin, slowly, like a feather falling. There is a moment just after a song ends, when the air is still warm with music. Even though the last note has faded, something lingers. A feeling, a presence, a shimmer in the silence. That's where we are now. Not at the end, but in that space. That sacred, breathless space, where nothing is expected, where nothing must be done, where you are simply here and safe. The minstrel's song had ended, but no one clapped, no one bowed. There was no curtain to fall, because the song had never really performed. It had simply been a companion, a warmth in the dark, like the hush of snowfall, or the flicker of a hearth seen through a cottage window as you pass by, soft, unseen, but deeply felt. Imagine now that you're lying down, just there, on the inn's thick rug, near the cooling hearth. The floor is warm beneath you, gathered heat from hours of firelight. You're curled in a woolen blanket, head resting on a folded tunic. The air around you still scented faintly of smoke and pine. No one disturbs you, no one stirs. Even the walls seem to lean in to listen to your breathing. You are the only one awake, and yet you're not really awake, are you? Not fully, not anymore. You're in that space between the last word and the first dream, between the hush and the hum, and it feels perfect. In the Middle Ages, there was a belief held by quiet-hearted people, those who lived by fields and forests, that sleep wasn't just for the body, it was a crossing, a passage between worlds. They believed dreams were not illusions, but journeys, and that music was the safest guide to take you there. Minstrels, it was said, were not just players of instruments, they were soul guides, sleep shepherds, carrying you across the veil of night with nothing but sound and breath and heart. And tonight you've followed that path, so gently, so beautiful, so bravely. Outside, the sky is lavender now. Not quite day, not quite night. Birds begin to stir, but they do not sing yet. They even wait for your dream to finish. The wind carries no chill, just softness. The snow on the rooftops glows faintly, as if remembering moonlight, and the inn, old and kind, holds your shape in its memory. Long after you've gone, it will remember your breath, your warmth, your stillness beside the fire, because now you're part of the story, even in sleep, especially in sleep. And now let your mind slow further, even slower. Let your thoughts loosen like lace unthreading. Let your body melt into the bed, no edges, no weight, just warmth. Let your breath become the only sound, gentle, steady, in and out, each breath a chord, each exhales a falling leaf. The song is still here, but it is so quiet now, you don't need to hear it anymore. You just need to feel it. Let it hum inside your chest. Let it drift down to your toes. Let it cradle your mind in darkness and peace. Some say the minstrel never woke, not because he was gone, but because he had finally reached the meadow, the one where songs go, when they've done all they came to do. There, he sleeps beneath a tree that sings without sound. And every now and then, a traveler, who listens well enough, can hear the tree hum softly, a lullaby without end. And if you ever pass near that dream, you may feel the hush, the warmth, the knowing, and you'll smile, because you'll remember this moment, this stillness, this story, and you'll rest just as you are now. Safe, soft, gone to sleep with the song. You don't need to listen anymore. The story is over, but your dream has only just begun. So go now, float, sink, drift. Let your breath be the only thing you follow. In and out, slower now, even slower. Sleep is all around you. Sleep is inside you. You are held in the song's final note, a note that never ends, a note that becomes silent, a silence that becomes sleep, a sleep that holds you forever. If only for tonight. Good night, gentle soul. You've made it all the way home. Let the world fall away now. The inn, the fire, the village, all of it has grown distant now. Not gone, just softened, like mist curling around the memory of a candle. There is nothing left to see, nothing left to remember, only warmth, only breath, only sleep. You've followed the minstrel's path, through frost-kissed courtyards, over whispering bridges, into the still woods of old memory. You heard his song, you felt it, and now it rests in you. There is no more need for a story, no more need for thought. Let even these words begin to slip away like sand through open fingers. You don't have to hold on, not even to this moment. It's safe now to fall. It's safe now to drift. Let yourself sink, slowly, deeper, deeper still. Your breath is music now. Nothing else is needed. Just that rhythm, that gentle, ancient rhythm. The same rhythm the minstrel played without strings, without notes. Just breathe, just stillness. In and out, soft, like snowfall. In and out, light, like feather to wood. In and out, gone, now, gone. There are no more names, no more places, no more bard, no more only the feeling that remains, a hush, a hum, a heat in the chest that cannot be spoken, only slept. You're almost all the way there now, that warm, dark place where dreams begin. Let go, even of these words. Let sleep take them from you. Let sleep take you. You've traveled far, sweet listener. You've heard the last lullaby. You've become part of the song. And now it is time to rest. The night will hold you. The song will keep you. And when you wake, hours from now, you'll carry only the quiet. No burden, no thought, just peace. Only peace. Sleep now, softly. Sleep now, fully. Sleep now, and dream. The night has carried you, wrapped you in a shawl of dreams, soft as wool and light as feather. Now, somewhere in the distance, a thread of light stretches across the sky. Not sharp or bright, but a gentle glow, a whispered promise. You are still warm beneath your covers, still heavy with rest, still deep in the slow rhythm of your breath. And that is perfect. There is no need to hurry, no need to open your eyes. Just let the light come softly, like the slow unfurling of a flower, like the hush of the village waking from sleep. Imagine the minstrel's lute, resting now, its strings still warm with the song you carried. You don't have to play it. You don't have to sing. Just hold it gently in your heart. A quiet echo, a soft memory, a song that lives inside you. If you feel ready, you might stretch your fingers slowly, like the first movement of morning. Maybe your arms, too, reaching softly toward the sky, then folding back, curling around your heart. No rush, no strain, only ease. Take a deep breath now and feel the air fill your lungs, slow, warm, steady, and breathe out, releasing any leftover sleepiness gently, smoothly, one more time. In and out, and let your body begin to wake. You might hear birds now, or the soft rustling of leaves, or maybe just the quiet of your own room, the softness of your pillow, the gentle light spilling in. You've traveled far in your dreams, and now you are home. Remember, the song is always with you, in your breath, in your heart, in the quiet spaces between waking and dreaming. Carry it softly through your day, and return to it whenever you need. because you are part of the story. You are the song, and you are always, always safe. Sleep well, gentle traveler, until the next dream.